Hi, y'all. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amira, and today I am doing my new makeup releases slash will I buy it anti-haul wish list video. I haven't quite decided what I want to call this. I've started calling it new makeup releases will I buy it because that's pretty much what I talk about. I talk about the things that have been are releasing or going to be released that I am thinking about or that have caught my eye, and talking about it with you guys about will I buy it. So I guess that's accurate. So let me scooshy scooshy, as Angelica Nyquist says, which I love that. So there's not a ton that I'm interested in that has been released or talked about recently, which is a good thing. There's still older things that are on my mind. Like there's still things that I'm still mulling over and deciding if I'm going to spend money on more than there are new things. And for me, I actually quite like that. I like that it's not like I'm not sort of having my head turned by a bunch of like new things that are, like, ooh. I like the fact that the things that are on my mind are things that have been on my mind for a while and that I'm still trying to decide on. So, first up, I want to talk about is this new collab that MAC is doing with Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things. I'm excited for the new season. I can't remember if this is I know that they're splitting, I believe they're splitting this season into two, so I don't know if that means that the second half of this season that's coming up, the fourth season, will be the last season, or if they're going to do another one, but I've heard rumblings that they're on their final season. Anywho, there are two palettes. Um, the one that has caught my eye is the one that I guess is supposed to be like the one that represents the upside down. This color story, guys, let me see if you guys can see it. This color story it's got my attention. It's beautiful. I love how dark it is. It's got some, it's got a blue, it's got a red, it's got this really pretty like gunmetal gray. Looks like it's got a bit of a taupe, a silver, a black. I don't know. This to me I'm here for it. And I think this is the first time in a really long time that MAC has done a collab where it doesn't seem like all they've done is recycle things that were already in their collection and then just slap some really lazy packaging and words on top, marketing. This actually looks like they sat down and created color stories, and that's impressive. That's impressive, I have to say. It's certainly gotten my attention. The other one that is the property of Hawkins Tigers, it's like the high school like team color palette. This one's really pretty too. I don't necessarily think I would pick this one up, but I like that they created this really light pastel-y spring color story, and then created this like really deep, rich color story. I like the dichotomy of those. Next up is this new product called the Sunbeam Cheek and Eye Shade from Chantecaille. It is their all-in-one gel powder formula, and it says that it gives the eyes and cheeks a sun-kissed gleam of warmth that instantly flatters and defines, and it's AT2 doll hairs. AT2 doll hairs. That's a lot of money. Now, let me say this. I own some Chantecaille products that I enjoy. They are hella expensive. Chantecaille is very much a luxury brand, and the thing is for me when it comes to Chantecaille is that I really have to think long and hard if these are products that I'm gonna get use out of. It's not like just buying like, a lip pencil or buying like even a palette, I mean, this is $82 for one item, one single shade. $82. And I think their reasoning behind this price is that because you can use it for cheeks and eyes, and I personally am like, that's still $82. I can use a lot of things on my cheeks and my eyes. I can use eyeshadows on my cheeks and my eyes that I already own that aren't $82. You know what I mean? So I'm interested to see what this looks like on the skin. The packaging is stunning. Chantecaille almost always kills it with their packaging. It's so pretty. It's perfect for spring and summer. I'm a sucker for this like bright lime green types of shades. But yeah, I'm a sucker for these light lime green types of shades in the spring and summer. They get me every time. So the packaging has definitely caught my eye, but I don't think I would be spending $82 on a single, basically, which is essentially a shadow that you can also use on your cheeks. Like, no. Next up, let's talk about this new Juvia's Place lipstick collection, because I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm probably gonna pick something up from this. It's probably gonna be the Soil shade, and let me see if I can find the color that I am obsessed with so you can see what I'm talking about. So these are the lipsticks, and it's that shade that's right in the front, that kind of like caramelly lighter, the lighter brown, not the nudie tone, but they're like lighter, almost like orangey toned. It's called Soil. I want it. I want it. I think this entire range of lipsticks is stunning. I would probably wear all of them except for that super neutral, that super nudie light neutral tone. I probably wouldn't wear that, but all those other shades I would wear. But Soil is the one that's caught my eye, and I might pick it up. I'm feeling a bit conflicted about it. I know there was a whole controversy with Juvia's Place, and I kind of like took a step back from talking about the brand because of that, and I was a little bit like, I don't know. I know they issued up an apology. It was not an apology to me. You know, I was not the demographic that was affected, so it's not up to me to decide if that was a satisfactory apology. If you are of that demographic, please let me know in the comments if you felt like that was a satisfactory apology. So yeah, I don't, especially as you know, as a Black woman, I have an issue with, you know, people saying, well, I forgive them. It's like, well, if you weren't the person that was affected or offended, I don't really care if you forgive them. It's not really about you. And I feel that way for myself too, because I was not the demographic that was targeted and affected and offended. So I can't accept that apology. You know, that's something that's someone of that demographic will have to say, you know, yes, we accept that apology, or I accept that apology. Because again, no group is a monolith. Some people may have thought it was fine, others didn't. I have no comment on that because I don't feel it's my place. But I will say that I had taken a step back for a little bit just to sort of see, you know, what was going to go down. And I haven't heard anything untoward about them recently. Juvia's has always been slightly problematic. I've kind of always gone back and forth with them because I do enjoy their products. Yeah. So I'm always of two minds about them because of that. Is that I love the products, but I also am like, I don't know. They're like problematic, but not Jeremiah Starfish problematic, you know? So I'm just kind of like, So yes, I'm thinking of picking up one of these lipsticks. I'm also going to blame Angelica Nyquist for this. I can blame Angelica Nyquist for a lot of things that I purchased. You can send her a thank you for this eye look, because she did a look where she was reviewing that new Jaclyn Hill palette, which she confirmed a lot of my suspicions about that palette. But she created a look that she used an olive green and silver, and I would never have thought to put those two colors together, and now I'm obsessed, and I did it myself with two palettes that I own, and I love it. So you can thank her for this eye look too, because I was inspired by that color combo. It was beautiful. Anywho, this Glamlite Frosted Flakes palette, I love the color combo. Someone was like, it looks like a sports team. Yes, it does, but it's also really pretty. It looks so pretty. And then Angelica just did a review of it, and the looks that she created and the way the formula applied to her eyelids, I was just like, is this going to be the first Glamlite palette I purchase? Because there have been a couple I've been interested in. My main issue with Glamlite is I hate the size of their palettes, and I hated that some of them are so oddly shaped, and it turned me off, and it kept me from purchasing from them, even though I'd heard such great things about them. But this one, it's a normal shape palette, average number of shades. The color story is beautiful. It's colorful. It's interesting. I love Frosted Flakes. Matter of fact, I was in the grocery store last night and I was going to get some Frosted Flakes, but they were on sale and sold out. So there you go. I like this. I'm probably going to eventually pick it up. Hopefully it'll still be around. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up today or tomorrow, whenever, but I think this might eventually come home with me. I could see this being a part of my collection. Next up is the new Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Ungrip Makeup Removers. They have a cleansing balm that is $36, that is meant to remove makeup's SPF dirt, leave skin soft, clean, and hydrated. Then they have the makeup remover cleansing water. This is a 92% gentle micellar water. Okay. That fully removes makeup, cleanses, and hydrates skin, no rinsing required. And then they also have coming soon, I don't see a picture for it, but it says coming soon, a Hydro Ungrip reusable makeup remover pads. A pack of 7 soft reusable makeup removing cleansing pads that come in a washable mesh bag to help minimize waste in your beauty routine. Okay. I actually am interested in I think the cleansing balm sounds interesting, and I think the reusable makeup remover pad sound interesting. The micellar water, anytime someone says no rinsing required with the micellar water, I cringe, because micellar water is essentially a surfactant. It's a soap. Would you put soap on your skin and then not wash your face? I would hope not. Micellar water can be incredibly stripping to the skin. It's kind of just like a makeup wipe minus the wipe. I have micellar water that I use for things. I occasionally use it on my skin if I'm doing a makeup look and I'm doing more than one look, which I do rarely now because my eyelids are so sensitive. But back in the day when they, I would sometimes do that. But now I just use an eye makeup remover for that. I use the Lancome by Facile, which I'm almost out of, but it's the one that you shake up, and it's got a bit more of a hydrating feel to it. But for the most part, I stay away from micellar waters for using on my skin. My micellar water I use mostly for removing makeup from fabric. I use it to clean my microfiber cloth that I use for when I'm brushing, clean off my brushes between shadows. And I use it if I get makeup on my clothes. And I was using it when I was wearing reusable cloth masks and things like that. That's what I use micellar water for. I very rarely use micellar water on my face because it is so dry and stripping to the skin. So the idea that you would put this on your face and they're like, fully removes makeup, cleanses and hydrates skin, no rinsing required. I'm just like, nope. Especially if it's a 92% natural micellar water. I don't know what that means because all micellar waters are surfactants. Anywho, that one I'm giving the side eye to. The cleansing balm, I'm like, sure, maybe. I'd have to see the ingredients. Again, I've said before, guys, how I don't generally like to buy skincare from makeup brands. I talked about the Pat McGrath Essence in my last new makeup releases video, and I've seen so many people use it and it looks beautiful. It really does. But then I consulted my skincare guru. Her name is Caroline Hirons. You may know who she is. But I DM'd Miss Caroline and I said, hey, is it even worth my time? Because I kept seeing pictures of it and people applying it and their skin looked beautiful. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm wrong. And she was like, I'm not rushing out to buy it. And I was like, say less, Caroline, say less. So yeah, I don't know. I think, again, I'm of two minds. I like the idea of the reusable makeup remover pads, but that's not a new thing. Like you can get those on Amazon for cheaper than what they're charging $25 for a pack of 7. You can get more than 7 reusable makeup remover pads on Amazon for less than $25. I'm just saying, But I did want to talk about it because it just came out and it did kind of catch my eye a little bit. Okay, I know this has been out for a while. It's out. It's probably sold out, and I don't know if I know it's coming to Ulta either this week or at some point soon. And that is the Colourpop Star Wars collection. Specifically, the palette is what I want to talk about, of course, because I'm an eyeshadow palette queen. Well, you know how it goes here. That's, of course, the thing I want to talk about. And I have to say, guys, I'm so tempted. I'm not a huge Star Wars person. I am not a huge Star Wars person. I'm not, I'm not, but this color story, it's caught my eye. And I've seen some reviews of it. I've seen people use it, and it still intrigues me so much. I just want to try. I want to get my hands on it, and I want to play with it. I do. I'm not going to lie. The other stuff in the collection, I'm like, whatever. It's all about the palette for me, and that palette is really beautiful. That color story, someone made a really good point about the fact that it looks a bit like the Darth Vader one with more shades, and I think that's true, but I think that's what makes it a better palette. I feel like it's an expanded color story of that palette that I was also tempted by but skipped because of that. I think this one is it's expanded, but it's still pretty well curated, and I just think the tones are so pretty. Those blues, those reds, those silvers, that pop of gold, that muted tone. There's a duochrome in here. Yeah, I kind of want it. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want it. Okay, I was originally not going to talk about this because I was just like, whatever. But I want to talk about it because now that I've seen what the palettes look like, they remind me so much of two other palettes that I'm going to bring up. So this is Kylie Cosmetics' new collection. They have a bronze palette, and then there's another one. And let me see. I thought I had that one up as well. So there's the bronze palette, and then there's a cool tone palette. Yes, so here's the picture of the two palettes. So there's the mauve palette and the bronze palette. Okay, the mauve palette, everyone their mother's doing mauvey rosy tones now, so that's just like on trend. And then there's the bronze palette. And I have to say, Kylie, I know Kylie's branding, like she rebranded, they reformulated because she was purchased by Coty. Kylie Cosmetics was purchased by Coty, and originally they were getting their formula from C Beauty, who owns Colourpop. So when they were bought by Coty, they could no longer use the Colourpop formula. It was proprietary. So that's why you saw Kylie kind of go away for a while, because she had to then reformulate and rebrand all of her makeup line. So she's coming out with new stuff now. And these two palettes are, doesn't say how much they are, but I know she's rebranded from Colourpop, but do these not remind you of the Colourpop palettes that just came out? Granted, the mauve one is not the same color story, but the bronze one kind of is. Those two that came out, it was like Twist of Slate and I forget what the name of the other one was. It was Twist of Slate. There's Twist of Slate, which was the cool tone one, and then it was Set in Stone, which is the bronzy neutral one. And does not Set in Stone, and I'll put a picture up, look exactly like the Kylie palette that is considered called the bronze palette. They look so similar as to be almost identical. And I'm like, well, if you have one, you definitely don't need the other. And I'm gonna just go out on a limb here and say that the Colourpop one is less expensive. Now, having said that, I've seen reviews of these two palettes from Colourpop, and the reviews haven't been that great for them. So again, it's like, okay, they're cheaper, but is the formula, you know, better for in the Kylie one? I don't know. I just found this layout very interesting because it's different for her, but it's ironic to me that she sort of like left the Colourpop world, but these palettes look very Colourpop. I don't know. I just found that interesting. It kind of caught my eye, and I was like, But yeah, I mean, I'm not purchasing either one of these. I have no interest in them, but I just wanted to talk about that because it really did kind of make me go, Also, I'll talk about this Plouise collection, and this is not something that I'm interested in any shape or form of purchasing, and I don't purchase from Plouise. If you know the controversy, a lot of people don't know the controversy that happened with Plouise some years ago, but if you know, you know. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but it's turned me off completely, and I don't think I will ever purchase anything from that brand. I'm just going to put it out there. But this palette, first of all, I find Plouise's eyeshadow palette packaging to be obnoxious in the extreme. It's huge and clunky. There's always like way too many shades. I feel like there's no sense of color curation, you know, or a color story involved in it. It just really irks my soul. And so I feel like even if I wasn't if I was like not purchasing from Plouise, I still probably wouldn't purchase from Plouise just because of how obnoxious I find the palette packaging. But then you have this situation here. Why? Why do we need this many shades of green and yellow? Why? This is the thing. Most of these shades, once you put them on the eye, they are so close in tone that once you put them on the eye and you blend them out, they look exactly the same. They will look exactly the same. I mean, look at these three shades just in this promo pic. She's got like that super light lime green called Audition. And then she's got this one called Fame Hungry. One looks slightly lighter than the other, slightly darker. Then you have the shade Rewind. So you have Fame Hungry, Rewind, and Audition. And Rewind is basically the lighter of the three. But do you think Audition and Rewind are going to look that different in your eye? Do you think Fame Hungry, if you did a wash of color, will look that different from Audition? No, they wouldn't. Same goes for the yellows. I feel like we need to move past this whole throw all the shades of the same, all the different tones of the same color in palettes. Like, monochromatic palettes work best when they're curated down to a small number of colors. you know, or tones rather. That's how they work. Stuff like this, to me, it looks cheap because it looks like makeup you get on AliExpress where you get all 50,000 greens, 50,000 yellows, and Plouise makeup is not cheap. Her price point's pretty, it's I would say mid-range. It's not, you know, a luxury, but it's not, you know, drugstore. It's mid-range. So you're paying for all of this packaging. You're paying for all these colors. Are you really going to use all this? Like, do you really need a full palette of like 20 yellows and 20 greens? Green is my favorite color. You guys know how I feel about green eyeshadow. I'm not a fan of these types of greens. I like lime green, but most of the greens that I enjoy are these types of greens. I really like grungy, olivey tones. I wouldn't get a lot of use out of this. I just wouldn't. I would probably use the same 5 colors on both sides of the palette, and that would be that. I feel like this is just ridiculous, to be quite honest. I just think it's ridiculous. Next up, Danessa Myricks is coming out with a new Infinite Chrome Flakes in the shade Pride, and it is a multi-chrome, like a rainbow chrome. One of the first videos I ever did was a review of the Infinite Chrome Flakes. I'm thinking of revisiting those. There are a couple of indie brands have come out with their own versions of them that I really want to try and put to the test. I kind of want to compare the two. If you guys are interested in seeing that, let me know. I think Unearthly Cosmetics has their own formula that's similar to the Infinite Chrome Flakes. I still have my Infinite Chrome Flakes. Oh, let me know, guys. Do you want to see me compare the Infinite Chrome Flakes to the flaky and suspended in gel that are from like Unearthly Cosmetics or a brand like that? I can do that. I'm curious about it now. You let me know if you want to see that before I spend my money. I would like to know if that's something that you guys would even be interested in. And that's everything. As you can see, it's not a whole lot. It's just sort of the things that I feel like there's been like a slowdown. Like I feel like there was a short period of time where there was so much coming out. And now when I'm like strolling through Trend Mood, and just so for reference, what I use when I'm looking at new releases, I go on Instagram and I look at Trend Mood 1 account, I look at the Hot Fire Makeup account, and I look at Makeup Release Radar. Those are the 3 accounts that I sort of look at on a regular basis to see what's new and exciting. But yeah, I just feel like we've kind of hit another lull, another slump. You guys tell me what you think. I feel like there's just hasn't been as much in this past like week, 2 weeks, at least since my last video. I feel like my last video I had a lot to talk about, and then this video I feel like there's not a whole lot to talk about. You guys let me know. Is there anything that I talked about in this video that's caught your eye that you're interested in? Let me know in the comments down below. If you liked this video, please be sure to hit the like button. And if you are not subscribed, what are you doing, guys? Hit the subscribe button. Turn it from red to gray. And I will see you in the next one. Bye now. I almost forgot to talk about, guys. I was just wrapping up and then I remembered two things rather that I wanted to talk about, and I posted this on my community tab on I think either Friday or Saturday, and it's that the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette and gold palettes are back in stock on her website. I was shocked and amazed when I saw this. I was like, oh my God. This is amazing. You guys know how much I love these 2 palettes. They are number 1 and number 2 in my Natasha Denona palette ranking. If you want to see what else, you know, how all of the other palettes rank, minus the pastel one because I shot that before that palette was released. I will leave a card up above, down below, sideways, one of those. But yes, the Metropolis palette and the gold palette are back in stock, guys. So if you had your eye on these and they were the ones that got away, let me check really quickly for you guys. Now, and both the gold palette and the Metropolis palette are still in stock. So I say get it while the getting is good, because who knows what she's doing. It could be that she just has her final stock and she's trying to get rid of it. I don't know if she's she's brought these back permanently. They say limited edition still on her website. So I'm guessing that she's probably getting rid of the last of her stock, and once they're gone, they're actually really truly gone. So yeah, get those while the getting is good. And I think also the Tropic palette is back. So if you were interested in that one, that is also back, and that was gone for a while. I own the mini Tropic, which is just the last row of the full size Tropic. Love those shades. But if you were interested in the full size of that, that is back in stock. So yeah, guys, get on over to the Natasha Denona website and get your hands on that gold palette that you've been drooling over, or that Metropolis palette, or both. I will leave links to the site and to the palettes down below.